I want to give you a couple of rules of Wireshark. These are rules to stop you from hurting yourself. Capture as close to the complaining user or device as possible. That lessens the crap that's flowing across the wire. So get close. Know how to capture the packets before you need to. In other words, learn about spanning and tapping. We'll see that in a second. Know how to capture because it's not an easy thing to make up on the fly. Use capture filters sparingly and display filters liberally. Capture filter means that you won't get the packet later on. It says, I never want that packet. Display filters say, I've got all the packets. I don't want to see all this stuff because I don't want to confuse myself. Build custom profiles, build custom coloring rules and filters if you're going to do this any more than once. Build what's called a hot trace file library, and that is a set of trace tools that you can filter from. So we'll call them the hot list and learn that hot list. I put mine on a notepad. You can do it inside of the interface. It'll actually give you a whole bunch of places where you can drop down and say, I want to filter by this, this, and this. I do it in a notepad because that works for me. I have lots and lots of notes along with it. The packets never lie, but they will not tell you why something is happening. You have to know why. In our case, for us, for most of what we're doing, we're either, from an evil side of things, we're either capturing clear text passwords or looking at the communication protocols so that we can break them, or on the other side, we're recording this information so that we can prove to the organization that this is what we did and when we did it and how we did it with packets there. So you've got two different uses for this tool. Lastly, it's not a rule that's on here, but here's my rule. Go to Laurel Chappelle. She actually has written the best book on this. She teaches a really great course on this. I love the book. I want to get the certification, and it's an incredible book, and it's got some great lessons in it. If you're going to do any packet capturing, I would say if you're going to be a penetration tester, the likelihood of you doing packet capturing on a daily basis is pretty high, so you might as well learn that skill. It's like learning how to touch type. It'll make things go faster. So let's look at some of the key tasks that you want to perform, that you want to understand. And again, this is definitely both real-world experience and exam-based experience, so you have to be able to do all these activities. Capture wired traffic and wireless traffic. Understand profiles, hot capture filters and hot display filters. Building coloring rules. Finding problems using graphs. We'll only touch on that. And then the expert. Okay. So wireless traffic captures. You must have a promiscuous monitor mode adapter. If you go to my expanding security site and you type in wireless traffic capture into the search box, you will see the list of appropriate USB wireless cards that you should be interested in purchasing. You want to get one that works for you. I like the Alpha cards because they work across all operating systems and they're very portable. They're also USB based, so I don't have to worry about internal hardware problems. You can also, remember, if it's USB based and you happen to be using virtualization, you can directly connect that USB based tool inside of your virtual machine, subverting the underlying operating system if it's got problems. I'll show you those problems in a minute. Air PCAP adapters are expensive, but they do the job for you all at once. The triple adapter that you can get for about, I think it's like $600, will actually capture all the signal across all of the different interfaces, all of the different channels that are available to you in the US, and then it makes it a little easier on you. It's got an actual couple extra tools inside of it. If you can't afford that and you only got $50, I think the Alpha cards are great. They come in a variety of strengths as far as the transmit and receive is concerned. Okay, so now let's look at this wireless driver issue. If you're using a Linux-based system, you don't have any problems. There's no issues whatsoever. I happen to use a Mac-based system, and I use VMware, and I put Backtrack inside of my Mac operating system. When I plug in my USB card from the outside and I directly map it to my Backtrack instance of Linux, no problems whatsoever. You could also do the exact same thing for a Microsoft operating system. For Mac, you have to realize the signal's coming through and then you get into what's called monitor mode. Monitor mode and promiscuous mode are two separate things. You're allowed to monitor and then you go into promiscuous mode. That allows you to do capture and display filters. The problem is that monitor mode for the Microsoft operating system does not work the way you want it to. You cannot capture all of the packets that are flowing, especially when it comes to wireless. You cannot capture a lot of the packets. If you want to do packet injection wirelessly, you cannot do it on a Microsoft-based operating system. You've got to choose Mac and you've got to choose Linux. That's the choices here. So look at the wiki on Wireshark.org's Capture Setup Wireless LAN and look at what they have to say there. Also look at what they say in Backtrack on the wireless section there for the network cards, or you can go to my site.